Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geekonomics. We're back. It's another week. It's another show. Marc and Bryon here to talk all things nerd with you today. How you doing, Bryon? How are things?
Mark, I'm doing well. It's been a fantastic morning.
Nice. I can see you haven't showered yet. That's nice.
I showered this morning.
Oh, you just didn't do your hair. I got
you. I gotta get a haircut.
You're getting close to mad scientist level here.
I am. I'm getting ready.
Yeah. You just leave it. You should just dress up as a mad scientist for Halloween and just leave it until after Halloween. That's a perfect costume for you.
I could be mad scientist.
Yeah, you get like some steampunk glasses to put on.
That's a good idea. I should do it.
Yeah.
Well, before we start the show,
Mark, it'll be a great costume.
What?
For your party. You could be the mad scientist, like Nightmare Before Christmas. You could be the mad scientist and have Allison be Sally.
That's too much work.
Just throwing it out there.
That's too much work.
Too much work.
I was gonna put a robe on and just be the dude. That's the kind of
show the level of commitment you got to your own party.
Yep. Those are the ideas I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially since costume party wasn't even your concept. It was like hijacked by everybody else.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm happy. If people are excited to dress up, I'm happy with it. I have no problems. So, Mark, let's get this out of the way.
Yes.
In 2 weeks, we have East of the River Comic Book Collectible Show, October 30th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., American Legion Hall, 566 Enfield Street. Admission's $1 to get in. Early birds at 9 a.m. for $3. Enfield, Connecticut. I will be there. I will have tons of new stuff. I'm swapping out all the comics that weren't selling with a bunch of new comics. I'm going to have new toys.
Nice.
It should be a great show. A lot of
All Hallows Eve, as the kids call it.
Yeah.
Cabbage night, if you will.
It's going to be a great time. So please come on down. With that being said, now that we got that out of the way, Mark, I mean, it seems like you had more of an exciting weekend than me. How was your week?
I had quite the busy weekend. I haven't really talked about it on the show, but unfortunately my dad also passed away in September. So it's been quite the summer. So we had my dad spreading the ashes on Saturday. Then after that, I went to my 25th high school reunion, 25-year reunion.
How was that?
It was interesting because it's like with the advent of Facebook, I wasn't sure, like, it's like I see everybody on Facebook. Like I can keep track of people I want to keep track of.
Exactly.
So the people who aren't on Facebook, of course, you don't usually show up to those things because they don't like have information or contact. But it was cool because some of the people who I haven't seen in a while that aren't on Facebook anymore showed up. So I got to hang out and talk to them and stuff. But they still have like family members on Facebook and stuff like that. So so it's just like getting everyone's info and trying to get back in touch with everybody, because there's some people who I was like really good friends with in high school, and just life happens, and when he goes to one college, one goes to a different college, and you just kind of drift away from each other. It was nice to catch up with those guys, see those people, and like get back in touch with them, kind of, and like now like make plans, like hang out and catch up and outside of the reunion, so you can kind of, and Claire got to meet people that I've mentioned in stories from when I was younger and stuff too, so that was fun. It was a nice get together. It was a short little thing. It was at Joanna's in Summers. Never been inside there. I always driven by it multiple times, but never been inside.
Oh, I thought it would be like at Grassmere or something.
No, it was a smaller group. It was only, I think, out of the 174 kids, I think there was only like 30 to 40 that showed up.
Wow. That's a small percentage.
Yeah. Well, we've been trying, like, I guess it's like I had tried doing a 20th one years ago.
Yeah, 20th is way too close.
Well, one of the girls that was in our graduating class found out she had cancer. And I was friends with her. So I was talking with her about like wanting to get the group together to kind of like because she wasn't going to survive it. So, do something before she passed kind of thing. But it never ended up fruitioning because she just downwarded really quickly. So, but yeah, so we did the 25 one. I wasn't involved in the planning of it this time around. Like I said, I couldn't handle it with everything else that was going on. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so it was good. It was nice. It was, would have been nicer to have more of the group there and stuff, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? That's good.
I know Fermi's doing their 25th, like Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, for what year?
25, 97.
See, I'm 98.
Yeah, so here's next year.
Yeah, I won't be going.
But you have the thing is, like, I was talking to some of the guys that I graduated with, and they were asking, like, oh, who do you still talk to and stuff like that. And I'm like, the people I talk to and hang out with are all like the year behind us and Fermi. Like, your whole group has been together the whole time. Like, your friend group that you were friends with in high school, basically.
Well, me, Dan, and Jeremy.
Yeah.
John didn't go to high school with me.
No, he was Suffield.
Yeah. But
others went to Enfield.
I
went to high school.
I wasn't really close with people in my grade. I was close with people above my grade and below my grade.
Yeah.
But my class, I had very few close friends that were in my class.
Yeah.
I was mostly friends with people from, like I said, classes above and below. So.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends who went to Fermi and didn't go to Enfield. Like Matt Sylvester.
Yeah, I was friends with Matt Sylvester.
Yeah.
He was above me.
Debbie graduated my year, 97. So,
yeah.
Like that group of kids, like were in band and all that, like those guys. And I went to elementary school at Enfield Street. So, like, I knew a lot of the kids in that. Like, we were all Enfield all the way through. Like, there were some kids, and 6 of us went to the reunion that, like, literally went to Enfield Street School. We went all the way from kindergarten right straight through the 12 years. Like, I, like, always knew them, was friends with them for those 12 years. So it was kind of, but they lived, like, on the Enfield Street side of town. Like, our streets on Raffia, one side of the Raffia went to Eli Whitney, and the other side went to Enfield Street.
Mm.
It was always like a weird thing because we were the only group of kids from that area that went to Enfield Street. So, like, it was all like kids from like the Route 5 area that were up there that went there.
Yeah.
So
the districts are weird, Yeah.
And then they switched it, and then they went, like, as Josh was going to school, when he went, I left Enfield Street. I was the last class from my area that went to Enfield Street because Josh was in 2nd grade and went to Stowe.
Yeah.
So they changed districts. So that was always kind of a weird thing because I wasn't really like a part of that like friend group of all those kids that went to Enfield Street because they were all up from the Route 5 area.
Right.
When you're in elementary school, you're not gonna like go ride your bike to Route 5. So
I remember when they changed the districts line, and that was a huge deal because then kids were now in their area. They would have to go to a school differently. It was so bizarre. Why they did it, I don't know.
Yeah, well, just the way I guess like the dynamic of the town population changed. But I know, Josh like went for like kindergarten through 2nd grade at Enfield Street, and then went to Stowe. And then it was weird. Yeah.
So you had a good time though.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, it was nice. They had a nice little buffet kind of thing, and just kind of hung out with everybody and chatted and talked, and caught up. Got to introduce Claire to everybody, so that was she got to play trophy wife for a night, so she loved it. So
cool.
Yeah.
And then how was the Ren Fair?
Oh yes, yesterday was Josh's birthday. Big fan of the show. Josh is Big Jake, as we call him, on the show.
How old is he?
He turned 39 yesterday.
Oh my god!
Yes, Mariah just turned 28 in July.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
I always forget how
Josh will
old
be 40 next year.
Woo!
Yes, exactly.
And
That's
he's got to get that license.
We're old men. We're old men.
1 year.
Yeah, we're actually working on it right now as we speak. Not like as we speak, but he's in the process of getting it. So
yeah.
But anyway, so we went to the Connecticut Renaissance Fair, which is in Lebanon, Connecticut, other side of Coventry. It was nice. It's a small little fair. It's not super big, but they had some cool stuff. Like I bought new dice for this weekend for our D&D thing. I got cards from a lot of the vendors to give to Bobby to see if he can reach out to them about D&D stuff. There was like a miniatures guy and the dice people and a person like other stuff. So did some networking while I was there. Figured,
Nice.
But yeah, so I got that. It was a good time. It was a different. I've never been to one before, so it was interesting.
Yeah, I've been to a Ren Fair. I mean, we went to a Ren Fair. They had one right in Enfield years ago.
Well, that was really a Ren Fair. That was like but it wasn't. This was like actually at like. Yeah, they had jousting, like real jousting on horses.
Did you watch the jousting? You were excited for the jousting.
I did see some of the jousting. It was very cool.
Did someone get beat?
No, because they had a jousting of peace was the one I saw. We didn't stay late enough to watch the jousting of death, which is what I wanted to see, because then they like fight to the death.
They don't really kill them.
I'm assuming that people die. I'm going with that. People are killed.
All right.
I did watch
killing people at the Ren Fair.
Yeah. Shakespeare Approves, which is very cool. He does like skits, and like Josh got pulled up on stage to play a character and stuff. And
that's awesome.
Good stuff. Yeah.
You have a turkey leg?
I did not. I don't like turkey legs.
Well, I'm glad you didn't have a turkey leg, Mark, because those are the bodies they kill at the death.
That's what I figured. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I had was pierogies.
Pierogies at a Ren Fair?
Yeah, they had a Polish place there. So I was like, I'm getting pierogies. Yeah. Pierogies, chicken tenders, and a pretzel.
That is so authentic. You had pierogies, chicken fingers, and a pretzel. That is so authentic to the Ren Fair experience.
Yeah, I went full Ren Fair.
Because I think in the medieval ages, chicken fingers, pierogies, and pretzels were like the big thing.
Yeah, here. But yeah, it's a good time. So it goes till actually this Sunday. So if you're looking for something to do, Connecticut Ren Fair is open till the 16th. It usually goes from Labor Day to the 16th, I guess, is the run time of it.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And there is one in the spring. It's called the Robin Hood Ren Fair. So, although I'm tempted to go to the big one, I guess is in Mass, the King Richard's.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
That is a
big Sibs and I are talking about maybe doing like a weekend thing and going there for that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Get more sibling stuff in there.
Yeah.
I did see one flick. I saw Barbarian.
Oh yeah.
Last Friday.
Yes. It's not a Conan movie, I heard.
It is not a Conan movie. It's a horror movie. It is very. I'll give you my 5-second review.
Yes.
You want to be creeped out. It's very, very creepy and original kind of movie, horror flick.
Yeah.
I'm hearing good things about Smile. But
I've heard a lot of people say that was very, very creepy.
Yeah. But Barbarian, the trailer, there's a great trailer with Justin Long.
Yes.
And the trailers I've seen, it's like it takes a completely different turn. So what you think it might be about is totally different, which was great. I love how they trick you. But definitely worth a Halloween October watch.
Yeah, I'll never see that, so that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. Was hoping to see Pearl, which is a prequel to X, which X I saw in the beginning of the year, which was really good. But unfortunately Pearl is out of the theater, so I gotta wait for VOD on that one. And then I have really not I have not watched Andor at all. I did watch She Hulk, which we could wait. We could talk about She Hulk because this episode was a big one. We could wait.
Yeah, we do that.
Wait for the end and talk about or that could be the main topic today. I know we're all over the place, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
it's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Obviously today was some. I super excited. Tom DeLonge is back in Blink.
Yes.
They made a big announcement. I'm on the Reddit board. It has been like crazy with the speculation and the news, and our hearts have been broken before. But they put out a video which was really funny. Everyone's coming. They're coming. And at the end, we get to hear a snippet of the new single, which is coming out in a week. New tour next year. I'm super hyped. I'm super stoked to have Tom back with a new album. So for me, I am so pumped on this. One thing I didn't talk about, a couple weeks ago, Weezer dropped the Fall album, which is really good. I've enjoyed all their season EPs so far, but Fall is really good.
Of course you did.
And
Weezer could like release a kazoo album and you would think it was amazing.
No, there are some Weezer albums I do not listen to that much anymore. I mean, they're still one of my favorite bands of all time, but I've become they still have some flat albums, and it's so funny because the albums I gravitate towards, I listen to nonstop. But anyway,
like The Weeknd.
I haven't heard anything from The Weeknd, but anyway, yesterday, Marc Bryon needs a friend dropped a new episode like he always does every Monday, and it was Rivers Cuomo was on. I fucking loved it. Was a fantastic episode. I told Allison, and I quote, this is what I told her yesterday. I go, now I know when you ice cream lovers say chocolate and peanut butter are amazing together, because this was my chocolate and peanut butter. Because I don't like ice cream.
That's the oddest thing I've ever heard anyone say.
Yeah. She's like, oh my God. I go, now I know. Because I love Conan O'Brien and I love his podcast. These
are the moments her and I like can share together and be like, why are we around you?
And Rivers Cuomo
things like
Conan
this,
O'Brien, it was so good. And I think it's probably one of the best appearances on a podcast he's ever had. He was on Marc Maron years ago. It was okay. But Conan O'Brien is the king of podcasts right now. And it's funny. You got some interesting stories. They reminisced about how Weezer was on the first year Conan O'Brien had a show and how they played the Sweater song.
Yes.
And it was kind of cool to go full circle.
Yeah.
So I think it was an awesome interview. It was a great conversation.
Yeah, like the old two great tastes that taste great together kind of thing.
Yes. It was my peanut butter and chocolate.
Sweet and savory, as some might say.
Yeah. But let's see. I mean, beyond that, man, other than I watched She Hulk, I was actually pleasantly surprised.
Before we get into the She Hulk, did you see that there's been some boys news that was posted yesterday?
I still gotta watch season 3.
What is wrong with you?
Dude, I'm behind on everything.
When you're complaining about you have nothing to watch, maybe you should watch The Boys.
I am not complaining. I have nothing to watch.
Well, you should, because you really don't. You don't watch anything, so you really should be looking at these things.
Nothing is really hitting me right now, and I
know,
The
Boys could hit you.
I know.
You watch it.
I gotta watch it
instead of sitting around and twiddling your thumbs all day.
Believe me, I wish I was doing that.
Or playing some random video game. Maybe watch some TV shows, do some work for the show. You know, I've
been really watching the one show I'm addicted to. I just keep watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's all I keep watching.
I know. Yeah. You and your Brooklyn Nine-Nine. show that came out 15 years ago.
It didn't come out 15 years ago.
It came out a while ago.
It literally just ended last year.
Okay, whatever. No one cares.
You care, obviously.
You're not.
I'd
like you to actually watch shows that we can talk about on the show.
I gotta watch Andor.
That way we're not like 6 months behind talking about shows like The Boys. It's only been like one of those popular shows of the year, but my co-host still hasn't even watched one episode yet.
I know. I'm horrible.
So we can't even talk about the show.
But I know there's like a season 4. They're already priming with season 4.
Yeah, they announced 2 new characters for season 4. Which you can tell me if they're in the actual comic, since you read the comic but never watched the show for some reason.
I have watched the show, and I love season 1 and 2.
Well, you'd also love season 3 if you'd watch it. Season 4 of The Boys has shared the first looks at Susan Hayward's sister Sage and Valerie Curry's Firecracker.
Sister Sage could be in the comic. Firecracker, I don't think so.
Sounds familiar.
Dude, there's so many stories that happen in those graphic novels. It is beefy.
Yeah. So they announced them. They have not announced any new, like, when it's going to come out. They did also announce that the kid, Butcher's son, is now going to become a full-time regular as opposed to just a recurring role character. So
that's kind of cool. That's different.
Following the finale, Kripke, the guy who makes the show, what fans can expect from the upcoming one, including this one, is Homelander's world, and we're just living in it.
Oh.
While it hasn't been officially confirmed, reports have said that one we can look forward to is Jeffrey Dean Morgan joining the cast.
Oh, God.
Negan.
Well, Walking Dead is coming to an end.
Wasn't he doing a spinoff? I thought he was spinning off into his own show.
No. I think Norman Reedus and Carol were supposed to get a spinoff.
I thought, wasn't Jeffrey Dean Morgan and the other, like, what's her face there, Glenn's wife?
Maggie?
Yeah. Weren't they spinning off into their own show too?
Mark, I have no idea. All I know is I see a banner now. This is the final episodes. And I was like,
why? Like, it's been a long time we've been waiting for these final episodes. This is the longest, and it's like Kiss, but for TV shows.
They've been on the farewell tour.
Farewell tour for Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Buy this tickets to this year's. Only 20 more episodes left. Oh, wait a minute. Only 20 more episodes left.
I said farewell to that show years ago.
I just watched 20 episodes. What do we got 20 more?
Well, they split the final season.
I guess it's like around the next couple weeks is the last episode.
Yeah.
So I'll watch the last episode and I'll be fine.
I already watched when Glenn died. That was the last episode.
Yeah.
This show was done.
Yeah. Whatever. But anyway, so that's boys news. But yes, She Hulk, the big topic for the day.
Yes.
Finally got the reveal of the man, the myth, the legend. Charlie Cox is back as Daredevil in this episode.
How did you like his entrance, his whole?
I think they did it a perfect way. It was a perfect way to bring him in.
Yeah.
Because you bring him in as the lawyer, don't bring him in as Daredevil. So that's why, like, with the way this show is, it makes more sense to bring him in that way.
Yeah. Well, I knew
as the guy's lawyer. And then hilarity ensued from there.
Yeah. This is what I have to say about this episode. It was probably one of the best, if not the best, of the whole season. And for me, it was like, wow, they actually talked legal talk.
Yeah.
We should do that in a show about a woman who's a lawyer. And on top of that, they they actually talked legal talk. They actually battled in the courtroom a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is what, and for me, I'm like, don't do a show about a lawyer and we never see her be a lawyer. and then when she does, it's lame. I was actually like, that's what I liked about this. And she's not a very good lawyer, obviously.
Well, she is. It's just she just was
because she's never lawyering. But I liked that he walked circles around her in the courtroom. I did like seeing him in the costume. It was great. It was weird because like when he was on screen, it was like I feel like I'm watching two different shows here. He brings a little bit more grounded ness to the story.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the whole thing. I liked the fight scene in the hallway.
Oh, it was like a homage to the Netflix show.
Right. Obviously, that fight scene was way better. But this, you know, like
when you have like the usual like dark hallway Daredevil,
right?
The cool thing of like playing the Daredevil music from the Netflix show in this when he was like arrived on the in the show. And
the bad guy was a throwaway.
He wasn't. Yeah, he was just the one-off. He was the one weekly villain.
Yeah.
We finally got the reveal of the big villain.
Yes, which we knew it was coming. This web page, these people that had it out for She Hulk, it was going to accumulate to this. It was a great ending. Yeah. I like the cliffhanger. It made me excited to watch next week. Which every week I was just kind of like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. But I will definitely tune in Thursday morning. Is it? I don't even know.
Yes, Thursday. Yes.
Yeah, I will definitely tune in Thursday. I will actually watch it the day it comes out.
What do you think of the hookup?
Well, I had,
if you will.
Well, I had a feeling it made more sense.
Yeah.
When they were in the bar, like I knew right away that this is where it's going.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny when he's doing the walk of shame and he's holding his shoes.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
So I mean, he mentioned.
What are your thoughts on the ketchup and mustard Daredevil costume?
Well, that is a look he had in the comics. I like it.
That's like his West Coast outfit.
I don't really have ever heard that being thrown around. That is his West Coast outfit. He's on the West Coast, so yeah, but he's going back. He got the costume from the.
So you think that'll be the costume he uses in the Born Again?
Yes.
That's how they're going to say like he's got a new costume now, so he's a different. She's not wearing the outfit from the Netflix show.
I don't think he will be. This is his new costume. This is it.
That makes sense.
It's gonna be interesting what they do with that many episodes.
Which to me is like random Mark thoughts here. Why does Daredevil care what color his outfit is?
I don't think it might have been that guy who the creator
designer guy, but he just tells him you're gonna have these colors, and he's like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
Okay.
Because she makes fun of him, mustard and ketchup, and he was just like, I'm a blind guy, it doesn't matter.
He can see it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's like, it doesn't matter to me.
That's not his.
There must be a reason why we might find out in his show.
Yeah.
He might come back in the final episode.
I think it would make sense because if she's getting a lawyer, why wouldn't he be her lawyer?
He goes, I'm going back in the morning.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he can't turn around and come back. I mean, they have airplanes.
Well, if you're on a commercial flight, you can't just be like, turn this thing around.
I seriously doubt Matthew Murdock is taking commercial.
I think he's taking commercial. He takes pro bono cases.
I think he has enough.
He's not rich. We know he's not rich.
I know he's not rich, but I'm pretty sure he's got, he's able to pay that designer to make his costumes.
Well, he took
Pretty
that.
sure
He took that case. He got paid to take that case.
Oh, I know. Like he said, he does side cases that help pay the bills, kind of thing.
Right, right. So he's taking commercial. He's not.
I don't know.
A private jet
like checking his costume.
I don't think. You know what?
Because if he has to go through. Think about this though. If he has to go to TSA and they have to scan his bag, they're going to see his costume in the bag.
I don't know.
He's got like weapons in there, like that staff thing. You can't like just check that or take that on the airplane.
You make a good point. So who knows?
These are things I think about while I watch shows.
Well, I don't think he's going to come back because
this is what happens with my brain. This is the issues I have.
He was leaving in the morning. Yes. Her gala was at night. So honestly, maybe we won't see him in the finale. I'd be surprised if we saw him.
I'd be surprised too. he already used that. I think he might get some other. Might get Red Hulk. It was mentioned already.
Well, he's in outer space. Oh, no, yeah, we're in Red Hulk. Yeah. So we'll see where that goes.
Because that would lead you into Captain America: New World Order.
Oh, Abomination could show up and he could change and help her.
Could. But I'm saying that's what I think. And then I think you're heading towards World War Hulk. If the leader is going to be in Captain America. And supposedly the leader is the person in charge of intelligentsia.
There you go. And they got the blood. Yeah. They got the blood, so they can do whatever they want now.
And again, that King Hulk logo popped up at the beginning of the video at the end.
Right.
So that's who Josh was texting. The name was King Hulk.
King Hulk. Yeah. So we could get Red Hulk. We could have Abomination show up, help her.
Interesting to find out how it all turns out.
Yeah. So next week we'll be definitely talking about the finale.
Yes, we will.
I can't believe it's the finale already.
I know. And the other thing I haven't seen yet, which I'm gonna try to find time to watch this week, is Werewolf by Night.
Yes, I didn't even know that came out.
Yeah,
I do want to. I've heard good things. It's like an hour. I heard it's an hour. People are saying how it's super different.
Yeah,
it's unlike any Marvel movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Which is great, and it's great for the October.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And it's also, I think it's just a great opens the door to a lot of possible things that could happen.
Yeah, Blade,
Marvel Universe.
Yeah, more monsters.
Yeah.
I know that the original director of Blade walked away, so who knows what's going to happen with Blade?
So far out down the road, so you got time.
Well, they did announce that Blade movie before COVID even happened, so it's crazy. And then they've made Armor Wars is now going to be a movie, not a TV show.
Which I think is a good idea. I think it was be too much for a TV show. Too big of a scope for a TV show.
Yeah, make it more focused on a movie. Yeah. I prefer the movies over the shows.
Well, for that kind of thing, because it's going to be a lot more CGI than I think a show could handle.
Yeah, and the budget.
You can budgetary it differently.
Yeah, budgets are smaller on the shows, so yeah, I think giving it the movie.
Yeah, you're going to do an Ironheart as a show, so I don't think you could do Armor Wars as a show as well.
Right, totally.
And they have a lot of shows. I think they got more shows coming that they haven't announced yet, so that's another thing they have to figure out as well.
Well, they announced a lot of stuff at the last thing. So
yeah, but I still think there's gonna be other things that are gonna pop up that they haven't announced yet because they hasn't shown up in the movies. So you can't announce a show about it and not have it.
Yeah, you want to be surprised.
Yeah, without giving away things that are gonna pop up later on.
Yeah, totally.
So, it'd be interesting.
Yeah. Well, Mark.
So, what do you rate that She Hulk episode?
That episode was definitely on, for me, my feeling it would be probably a 9. It'd be like the first 9 for me anyway, out of the whole series. I still think 1 through 4 are my favorite. This is way better. This is better than anything since 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
So for this show, in the scale of the show, I'd give it a 9. In the scale of Marvel shows, I'll give it an 8. So
In the scale of, well, we'll give the
all
whole
Marvel
show.
shows, like putting it in the Marvel universe of shows, I give it like an 8. But for She Hulk in just its own bubble, I'll give it a 9 out of all the other episodes.
Next week we can evaluate the whole the series as a whole.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not one of my favorite Marvel shows.
Yeah,
this is the first one where I feel like it's like a task to watch, as opposed to like wanting to like watch it.
Totally.
Like when it comes out, it's like, oh yeah, I gotta watch She Hulk so I can talk about it on Monday. Like if I didn't have this, I wouldn't talk about it. I probably wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't be as apt to put myself through it. Yeah,
I mean, I would have watched it, but I probably would have just waited till the whole thing came out.
No, exactly. I would have waited.
Episodes go by so quickly, and nothing really happens. Most of them.
No, it's a lot of exposition and not a lot of action.
Just fluffiness.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll wait till next week.
Yeah.
We'll see if the show kind of is turning around the last 2 episodes, which is good.
Yeah.
We'll see where it takes us. I am interested now.
Yeah. It's good.
And I know Rings of Power came to an end, and is Rings of Power?
The finale's this week.
And then Game of Thrones is coming to an end soon, right?
Yes, that's coming to an end as well.
Yeah, I gotta watch Game of Thrones. I'm very excited to get into that. Lots of stuff to watch.
All this stuff's wrapping up before. I don't even know what the next things are that are coming out show-wise. Trying to think about that myself right now, top of my head.
And we got D&D this Saturday.
We do.
I made the character, but it's not connected. I don't know what I was doing, so I didn't.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. Like, I tried to do it on my phone, but Android, you can't use the app on your phone. You have to like connect the campaign on a web, like on a desktop, before you can do anything on your phone. It's just the whole thing. So I finally got it figured out last night, because I had to have Kylie help me like put it together, because I've never used D&D Beyond before.
I was trying to figure out the whole thing.
I have no idea how anything works. So Kylie uses it all the time for her stuff, for her campaigns. So since I was with them yesterday, I was like, when we got back to the house, I was like, hey, how do you do this? She walked me through it. So she helped me build the character.
Yeah.
And then John's like, oh no, you just do it this way. It's super easy. It's super. I just did it and it's no problems. I'm like, that's great. I can't get it to work on my phone. I'm not like gonna like, I'm not at my, like, I'm trying to have my sister help me with it, but I can't just like, so, because you can't sign in through Google using your phone. You have to like sign in through Twitch, which I don't have a Twitch account because I'm old. I don't have a Twitch account.
It's best to just do it on your computer.
Yeah. So when I had Kylie make the character up on her account, like as like a basic build.
Yeah.
And then took the information, went back, built it at home.
Yeah.
And then now it should be all set. But it looked like your character was already picked and set up and everything. You just gotta just change the information.
I don't know what information I'm changing. You know?
Yeah, you just want to like, just gotta go through and just change like if you have anything different, like your backstory stuff and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I'll have to look into it more today. Okay.
John was on his COVID quarantine. I had him write up my backstory for me because I don't have that brain power at the time.
Well, yeah, he wrote both of ours.
Yeah, so I was like, just do it for me because I'm not gonna ever do this. And I'll just tweak it from there. Then Kylie gave me a bunch of cool ideas and things. So
I'll have to look at it before Saturday. So it's on 3:00. Dumont's place. He gave us the
Yes.
address.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So there'll be more Dungeonetics, and there are Dungeonetics out there now that you can listen to.
Yeah, Bobby dropped some.
He's been dropping new shows weekly, so
yeah,
you can keep follow along with our new adventure, our new campaign.
I know,
which has a name, which I've already forgotten.
Me too. I don't know the campaign. I'm all new to the that stuff. It's all new.
Yeah, D&D Beyond. It's a very interesting. Interesting thing to use is the nicest way to say it, I guess.
Well, we're learning. We have a learning curve. I've never used it before, so you never used it before. We're learning.
Yeah,
it's cool. I was playing around with it for like an hour, and then I found out I'm like, well, I can't. How do I share this character with you? I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. So
yeah.
What are you gonna do? All right, Mark, we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
You got to get to work. I got to get to work.
Yes.
So we'll be back next week. She Hulk.
Yes. We'll have a bunch of finales to talk about. I'll talk about the Rings of Power finale. I still have to catch up on Game of Thrones. We're so many episodes behind on that at my house. I know you haven't even started watching it yet. So we'll have that to talk about. And we'll have the She Hulk finale to talk about. So
yeah, we'll talk about that.
All that and more.
On Geekonomics podcast. We'll see you next week.
Yes. And as always, be safe. Be good. Be kind.
Rewind.
We're coming next Monday. Bye, everybody.